not going. There we are. There we are.
Test. There we go.
There we go.
Hello, everybody. This is Garth Bowden with Charles Pullum with the Williamson Herald. This is the Tony's Eat and Drink WillCo Sports Power Hour, brought to you by Tim Thompson, Premier Realty, and we're trying to figure out our sound.
You got it.
So we're good. All right. Anyway, so this is the Tim Thompson Premier Realty WillCo Sports Power Hour. We want to welcome all of you all here in-house tonight and everybody on Facebook Live with us. And we have an exciting show tonight. We're covering some basketball. We're covering some wrestling. And doing a little catch-up for a week or so ago. But nonetheless, still got a lot of young athletes to be here with us tonight. So, Charles, good to be back.
Yes, likewise. Again, everyone, this is Garth Bolden on Gateway Tire, longtime local supporter of high school athletics. I'm Charles Pulliam, the sports editor for the Williamson Herald. We're happy to have you all along with us. There's a live stream out there on the Williamson Herald Facebook page, along with the Gateway Tire and Service Facebook page as well. We'll be out on Spotify later, YouTube, you name it. But Mondays at 6, we're always here at Tony's Eat and Drink. Quick shout-out to all our great sponsors out there. Garth mentioned the Tim Thompson Premier Realtors, Gateway Tire and Service, Toyota of Cool Springs, Stonegate Homes, Matthews Team Sports, Trucking Fork here, Tennessee, Southern Trophy, and John Mayer Builders. Lots going on here, obviously. I know you got to call a game on Friday, which was pretty fun for you.
Yeah, that brought back some memories.
There you go.
Had a good time. Covered the Brentwood Nolensville games with Joe Williams, and a lot of fun. We even got to talk about the WillCo Sports Power Hour.
Good.
On the radio, and that was exciting. It's two good teams, boys and girls. They split, and we'll get into that a little bit later as we have the Brentwood boys up here in a few minutes. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Had a lot of wrestling over the weekend as well, too. Want to remind all our fans out there, on Saturday we actually have the state duels tournament. Summit and Ravenwood both advancing to the Class AA duels tournament here at the Williamson County Egg Expo Center. All-day wrestling at the Egg Center. Starts at 9 a.m. Also got the BGA boys joining that in Division II as well. But a huge shout-out to Fairview. They came up just shy again for the second year in a row. But we do have Summit, we do have Ravenwood, and it should be a lot of fun come Saturday.
Okay, so remind me and all of our listeners, in wrestling, you have two that qualify for the duels, correct?
Correct.
And then after that, you have individuals that qualify for the state.
Correct.
Now, is that open up to all schools then, or is it still just Summit and Ravenwood?
Oh, still opens up. It's a completely separate state tournament here. So we're doing the team side of things on Saturday, where it's 14 kids, one per weight class, head-to-head, chess match style. Duels is a pretty special one, and it is the true team tournament. Our individual or more traditional wrestling tournament will be at the end of February, and we'll have a lot of locals contending and trying to repeat as state titleists there. So lots more to come here.
Cleveland still one of the favorites?
Yes, definitely. They are the 7-time defending dual state champions. And Coach Josh Peck and Ravenwood, got to start with them out of the gate. So we'll see. Summit and Coach Pete Miller are on the other side of the bracket. So that's helpful because usually that has been a first-round or semifinal matchup for Coach Miller and his alma mater against Cleveland, the traditional state powerhouse. But Summit's on the other side. They open with Houston. I think Bradley Central's another team on that side, but teams that Summit has already wrestled, which is pretty unique. So a good opportunity for the Spartans to maybe make it into that final for the first time.
And that'll be right here in Franklin. At the Williamson Ag Center. So if you want to see an action-packed day of intense, I mean, it is one of the most intense events that I have witnessed, and so we want to invite everybody out to that and support Summit and Ravenwood.
9 a.m. the wrestling gets started. Championships will probably be closer to 7. Be a lot of fun. I know I'll be there. Obviously, we got a lot of basketball, though, too. We're going to start with basketball tonight, Garth, and we're going to be covering some, I know, for the Williamson Herald on Tuesday and Friday. Lots of good District 10 4A matchups. I think we should dive right in here. I know Coach Crane is around here somewhere. If we can get him rolling in first.
Here he comes.
There, yeah. Let's get Coach Troy Crane of Brentwood High School. Again, we got Brentwood High School represented tonight, Page High School represented, two different sports. Really excited here. But our first guest of the night is Coach Troy Crane of the Brentwood boys basketball team, coming off another good win here. Coach, welcome back to the show. We had you a little earlier there. I think we got to talk with one of your senior leaders. We're going to talk about one of your other leaders who's just a sophomore here. But Garth was there. I had to miss. You guys came away with another big win, and it seems like you shut this team down the stretch to really pull away and stretch a slim lead out there. Tell us a little bit about the win on Friday.
Yeah, going in at half, we were kind of struggling to hit the basket, and the tempo really was playing into Nolensville's favor there. I thought they did a really good job of taking us out of some things that we like to do offensively. But then second half, we bought into a little bit more guarding on the defensive end, and it's limited them to one shot and being able to really to get out and get in their running lanes and their transition. And that really kind of opened up our offense. And I think third quarter we outscored them 21-3. So that was a big, not only offensive performance there in that quarter, but our defense really kind of was the key to that.
When you think about this team, I mean, we've seen you guys break 90. We've seen you now win games in the 40s and 30s like that now too. That versatility of this group, I know we started the season with a bang, but now we're grinding some out and we're finding ways to win. Can you speak a little bit about the growth of this team that you've seen from maybe, say, late November into now the middle of January?
Well, first of all, as you get into league play, you got to tip your hat to the coaches in our league. They do an excellent job with their programs, and we have really seen a lot of different types of defenses. Jackson McCutcheon, he gets a lot of attention, but a lot of times with him getting the attention and people guarding him out wide on the wings, it gives us driving lanes, and also, too, it really helps our rim runs and our transition. And, as we got into league play, teams was guarding the three-point line. But I was really proud to see how our team evolved. And Davis, as a sophomore, has really grown and been able to get paint touches and to be able to get those points in the paint. And that's really paid dividends here down the stretch for us.
Garth, I know you were there on Friday night looking at that third quarter especially. I think it was an early bucket from Nolensville, and they went more than 6 minutes without anything there. What did you kind of see from the Brentwood defense there? And what are you thinking about Coach Crane's crew here?
Well, what I noticed, and I actually said this on air, is basketball is a game of adjustments. And it was clear to me that coming into the third quarter that Coach Crane made some adjustments at halftime, and they really implemented. And Nolensville went without a bucket for a long time. And
I'm sure it was a really calm, cool, collected halftime chat.
Well, it was, and when I left, and I said this to you as I was leaving, and I've got some really, really dear friends on that Nolensville staff. I mean, it's no secret Ronnie Brock and I coached together for almost 11 years. And when I walked out, I went by their locker room, and I told him, I said, it's all about execution. And that's what Brentwood did. Brentwood executed a game plan coming out into the second half. Hats off to you, Coach Crane. Hats off to your players, because you implemented a plan and you executed it. And, I think you had one kid that averages 13 or 14 points. Can't remember his name, but he didn't score any points. And he's smiling right over there. And I kept looking at that, and I thought, well, you know what? He's still getting it done. And one of the things that you asked me, their ball movement, Coach Crane, your ball movement kept Nolensville's defense at a point where they couldn't contend a lot of the shots inside the paint, which opened Davis up.
Yeah, I thought going in that, teams have been running like a diamond and one, box and one on Jackson. But the thing about Jackson, I love his attitude, because a lot of players would just get frustrated and just, have an awful night. But it doesn't affect his defense, and he finds his teammates. Whenever he gets double teams, he's doing a good job of running off the screens, and then when he catches the ball and he gets trapped a year ago, that would have been a turnover. But his growth from a guard has been able to take those retreat dribbles, throw over the top of the traps and things like that. And then by those teams really guarding Jackson on the movement, as much as we get him to move around, he's dead tired by the end of a game. But he's doing a good job of his off-ball movement to keep, teams adjusting on different sides of the floor, and that's really opened up Davis and a lot of our guys off the bench, like Luke Matthew came in and made some really, really big shots. And again, Kevin Spivey does a really, really good job of running the floor, and he gets to those to the front of the rim a lot in transition. That has really opened up the other guys.
So, Coach, one of the things that I noticed the other night was Jackson was over in the corner a lot. Now, was that by design to move the defense? Because Nolensville plays a lot of matchup zone. And they switch up defenses routinely throughout the night. But he was over in that corner, that far corner, a lot. Was that to move that defense over to that? Was that why you had him over in there more?
Well, a lot of zone defenses, they have rules built in, and a lot of them break down whenever you can get three people to a side and make them have to get into a match situation. So if you get three people on the side, like a slot, a wing, and a corner, then that draws a bottom defender out, and then it holds a top defender. And then if you can ever get those diagonal skips on the backside, that's where you get the downhill drives. And that's where Davis's growth has really come, because he's doing a good job of not just sticking to one side of the room that we call. And he's good about when we drive, he does the U-cut in front of the rim, and we've been able to get those touches. And he's gotten a little bit more physical. He thought he was a Euro big man coming into season, and now he's getting his back to the basket a little bit and getting big and getting some post touches. And that's a lot like what his brother did, and he's really grown into that. And he's, as a sophomore, couldn't be more happy with his growth as far as like being able to play in the paint, and does a really, really good job when he does get those post touches that teams are running doubles at him, and he's turned into a really, really good passer, and he's doing a good job of passing out of those double teams and finding those guards.
So Daniel, his brother, liked to play out on the perimeter more. And one of the things that I noticed about Davis, he worked, the inside game a lot more the other night. As a sophomore, granted, I know he's still got growth, but definitely in the physicality. He's definitely going to, muscle up. But where do you see his game going in the next 2 years? He's dominant in the paint. What does he need to work on in the next couple of years?
Well, Davis is, you can't compare him and Dan. They're two totally different players, two different type of personalities. I love his fire and competitiveness, and Davis could play outside more and get more of those perimeter shots, but he's kind of doing what's best for our team, and that's to be able to make teams guard us in the post, and then when that three's not falling, it can't be one of those situations where, if a three don't fall and we just throw in the towel and say, well, we're not winning tonight, boys. We're doing a really good job of when that three is not falling, being able to get the downhill rim attacks and then being able to get those post touches for Davis around the paint. But that's where he has really grown. The beginning of the year, he didn't like playing down there a whole lot, but he's done what's best for the team, and he's really evolved his game, and he's turned into a really, really nice player that can score from behind the arc and also, too, in the paint. But where it's really, really taken off is his ability to rebound, and us rebound as a team, too, and get out and run. And that's where, we have design breaks where we like to get, somebody running to the rim, somebody running flat to the corners, and then our trail guys, and we got a lot of different schemes we do off of that. But the chemistry of this bunch here is just, kind of off the charts, and they really pull for one another, and they do a good job of finding hot hand. And I can tell you, Jackson the other night, he didn't make any shots, and they did a good job of taking him. But that guy was as much pulling for like a Luke Matthew and for Hudson McKnight and those guys. He was, it's all about the team, and that's what's really special about this group.
When you think about this team, Coach, you guys are right up there with Franklin. They're both 6-2 in the league. This whole league stacked up from top to bottom. There's really a big log jam here. Sure enough, you guys get to see Franklin later this week, but you also have to see a Summit team beginning tomorrow as well, and a much improved Summit team here. Got to see them a couple times here. I know they just fell short of Centennial, but they had a 3-game win streak in league here. Coach, tell us a little bit about the matchups this week. Summit Tuesday, and then the oldest rivalry in Williamson County, Franklin on Friday.
Yeah, well, our total focus is on Tuesday. Friday will be there when we get there, but Tuesday we know we're expecting an all-out battle when we go into Summit. We shot the ball exceptionally well early in December, and I believe after that game, I believe they reeled off like 7 consecutive wins, and they're playing as good as anybody in the league. And I kind of looked at the numbers a little bit. In the last 6 games in our league games, Summit has the most made threes of any team in our league, and I really mean this. I believe they are the most improved team overall right now to this point in our league, and a lot of the other guys outside of Marty has really come on and starting to be producing on the offensive end, and they don't get enough credit for how well they can contain you on defense and then really just kind of control the pace with their defense. They do a good job with their zone as well. And so, yeah, our guys, we know that they've had this game circled on the calendar for a while, and I've been telling our guys, I said that, when you step foot in that gym on Tuesday, you better be ready for a war because it's coming at you.
Every night in this league, huh? Nothing comes easy. Makes it so much fun here. Coach, we get to really kind of feature in on Davis here a little bit, and one thing before we go that we kind of touched on last time you were here is, and you touched on it here tonight too a little bit, was just that camaraderie of this group here. I know all of you are coming together for your true first head coaching spot here too. This group's got such a fun dynamic to it. Can you just kind of give us some more words and expansion on that a little bit about how these guys feed off of one another and just how much fun it is to coach this team too?
Well, the thing about it is, you can use all the coaching cliches in the world, but what they have is pure. I mean, these guys, they're each other's friends outside of basketball. They run around together, and they're gym rats. I mean, I have to run them out of the gym a lot of times. They find ways to get in the gym, and what I really like about it is they do a good job of checking their egos at the door, and a lot of times, over the weekends, I break down film and diagramming it in huddle and giving them the notes and what we call film corrections. And it's not fun. And, Monday morning, they know they got that to look forward to when we come in into the film room. But they've been super as far as like being able to take the feedback and being able to learn and grow from that. And these guys, we got a lot of sophomores. We got, 2 juniors on the makeup. And then we got Spivey, our senior leader, that's really – so you got that sophomore, that junior, and that seniors, group. They all kind of gel together, and that's kind of really special. And that's my 27th year coaching, and it's the best locker room environment I've ever been a part of.
Ooh, I like that. Man, you're dating yourself there, though, Coach. Come on. That's some time.
Yeah, he's showing why he doesn't have any hair.
Well, Coach, is there anything else you'd like to add or touch on before we get this young man up here?
He has been a pleasure to coach, and he'll tell you too. A lot of his success is due to his teammates, getting him the ball and getting them in the right positions and stuff. And it's really good to see Davis, grow up before our eyes. It's amazing how much he's grown just from the month of November. Then you see it again in December, and here we are sitting in late January, and it just keeps climbing. So I'm really, really excited to see his continual growth.
Love it. Coach Troy Crane and Brentwood High School, thank you so much for coming and joining us here on the WillCo Sports Power Hour.
All right, Davis, come on up here.
So we'll have our first athlete of the night here, our most recent Gateway Tire male athlete of the week, sophomore Davis Cochran of Brentwood High. Davis, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, likewise. I'm sorry the table's in the way here a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of leg room.
Yeah, no.
How tall are you?
Right now, I'm about 6'8".
6'8".
Right now.
Is that with shoes on or shoes off?
That's with shoes on.
Shoes on? Okay. Well, that's true basketball right there. Charles, did you know that?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
We measure with shoes on.
Yep.
Not shoes off.
Oh,
Because you play with your shoes on.
I think on my driver's license I still list my shoes on side of things.
That's okay. That's all right. I mean, we know that in a lot of aspects you're a wannabe athlete, so that's okay.
Davis, well, we got to hear some really good things about you, about the team, about the year so far. Obviously, coming off another win here. Tell us a little bit about your outlook for this season so far, what you guys have been learning, what you need to work on, because, hey, you're still in a tie for first here in this loaded district at a 6-2 mark, man. Tell us a little bit about this year so far.
Coming into the season, I know a lot of people kind of overlooked us. They thought it was going to be like a rebuild year, kind of after losing some seniors last year. So one of our main focuses was just trying to, prove everyone wrong and show that this isn't just like a rebuild year, and that we've got a chance to make it back to the same place we went last year, which is Murfreesboro.
At the same time, there's, like Coach said, 27 years. That's a really long time if you don't know. I think Coach Crane probably, it's a really long time. Oh, sorry, I keep saying that. But for him to have that kind of experience, and he talks about this locker room being just the one that stands out, tell me a little bit about the pride and the sense of pride you get from knowing that this group is so unselfish. It could be anyone's night, and you guys are still finding some success on top of that, too.
Especially the sophomore class, we've been playing together for about 5 or 6 years now, so that definitely helps add some chemistry. And, the upperclassmen, the junior, senior class, they've been really welcoming towards every of the younger kids. So, we just got that friendship that extends off the court and, outside the locker room. So that's definitely plays a big role in what helps us succeed.
Davis, sitting here close to you, I don't even think you're shaving yet. You got a lot of growth to do. You're still young. Are you 16?
Yes, sir. I'm 16.
Well, you don't play like you're 16. You play like an upperclassman for real. I was very, very surprised with your demeanor on the court the other night. And I started that out with a joke because looking at your basketball movements, to be 16-year-old, you've got a lot of basketball IQ. Now, granted, you've grown up in it and so forth like that, but you make it happen. And your inside-out game, one of the things Coach Crane was talking about was your guard play is a very giving aspect to the team. But I'll be honest with you, I see your inside-out game of where you take it in and then feed it back out when the shots are falling. I could see that a winning part of you guys as well. So my hat's off to you. At 6'8", a lot of times, and Charles has seen this, we've all seen this, a 6'8" player shows up out there, and it's all about that 6'8" player. And that's not your case. And I like that about your game. I really, really do. Like I said, you're still real young. You're still going to fill that upper body out. But great job.
Hey, Davis, tell us a little bit about Friday night here. Especially that third quarter here. Give us a little insight about what that was like, because, again, to take a 21-3 run to 23 run, whatever that was, that just blew that game open a lot. And it was, buckets were coming at a premium. It was a little slower than what you guys are probably used to, but to get things rolling in that third quarter, tell us how you guys got that going.
Well, if you go back and look at the stats from our last few games, we've kind of been in a little bit of a shooting slump. So, in preparation, Coach Crane was telling us that even if we're not shooting the ball good, we still got to win the battle of the three-point line in terms of not letting them hit the shots that they want to take. And in the first half, we didn't really do as good of a job with that. They hit a few threes, shots that they like to take. But in the second half, I feel like we really just limited the shots that they wanted, and especially second chance opportunities. We were able to, limit them to one shot, and we started hitting more shots, attacking the paint. Everything started coming together.
Davis, do you feel like that the shots aren't falling because teams are now they're watching film on you guys and they're changing up on you guys? Is that what's going on, or are y'all just, in a slump? What's going on there?
Yeah, teams have definitely started game planning for the amount of threes we take. And I think another thing that comes with it is that we're still a pretty young team. So, we're going to go through slumps, but it's all about finding ways to get the ball in the hoop when the three isn't falling. And that's what we've been doing a really good job of as of recent.
Thinking of this league, this district here, I mean, across the board, anybody could beat anybody any given night. And I know you guys know that. Fortunately, you've been on the other end on the winning side most of the time here so far. But tell us a little bit about these 8 district games that you guys have played so far and what kind of stands out to you a little bit, opponents-wise, too. Who's really tough to go against? Who are you most excited to play this second time around? Things like that. What kind of comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, so far, I don't think we've had one easy game. Every game we go out there, we gotta battle all 40 minutes of it, or 32 minutes of it. It's just, any team can win on any given night. It's just about like who shows up, and definitely, I know I speak for basically the whole team when I say we're ready to get another shot at Ravenwood, because we've got a pretty big rivalry with them, and we feel like we definitely could have won that game, but we're ready for them again.
So Davis, what's it like? The other big man that stands out in Williamson County is Christian Brown of Franklin. How do you match up against him?
I mean, he's a good player. Our game plan is not to not let him score, because we know he's going to go out there and he's a dominant player. So, but we just really try to limit their other players from scoring. We can live with him scoring 20, 25, 30, but we mostly just try to shut down their other guys, because their offense kind of runs through him, so it's important to limit, I guess, everyone else.
I like that. I mean, that's a great approach. Great answer, too, as a matter of fact. Great answer.
Well, we'll make Coach happy here, too, now, and pull it back onto Tuesday, because that's the Friday game. We can't even worry about that one yet.
I wasn't talking about the game. I was talking about an individual's matchup. I heard Coach Crane. I understand we're not going to overlook Summit, because Summit is I'll have to agree with you. I think they're the most improved team in the district.
Exactly.
No doubt about that. So
that's to come around again then.
But let's also not downplay the fact, and I was noticing this the other night as I was going down the score sheet. Brentwood is a very young team. I mean, very young. I mean, they've got a high ceiling to grow. That's not the case with some of these other teams in Williamson County. So they're looking really, really good right now.
Davis, second time around seeing Summit. What are your expectations and thoughts, and how do you guys come out tomorrow focused to take them on again?
Our first matchup, everything went our way. Summit didn't have a lot going for them that night, and we know they're going to be ready to get us back. Get another shot.
I think this guy right here was literally just throwing them up, and they were going. Anything was going,
couldn't
right?
miss.
Yeah,
I know. So, we're definitely going to be ready for their game plan for him, because they don't want another 11 threes in one game. So, it's going to be a dogfight. They're like what Crane said. They're probably one of the hottest teams in the county. So, it's going to be important that we show up to play.
One of the other things we got to mention here really quick, I am keeping tabs on a certain player at the University of Chicago, and I know he's doing pretty decently up there, actually. I think he's leading the team in rebounding. He's like a double-double up there, man. I mean, tell us what your older brother's up to.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, he's loving it, playing in Chicago. I'm actually going up to watch him this weekend, so that'll be fun. Last time I was there, I think he had 16 or 17 points. So, hopefully puts on another show like that one.
My answer to that is it's too cold in Chicago. So you just you go up there and watch that, and then come on back down here to the south. And stay in this area. Okay, we like to keep our players down here where it's warm. All right, so don't get too used to that cold weather. The one sitting over there to your left, I'm surprised he's wearing pants because normally he'd be wearing shorts. Do you know he's from Alaska?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Alaska. It just recently here in the last couple of years he started wearing pants when it's 13 degrees outside.
Myself and Coach Brock at Brentwood, we always have to wear shorts.
Really?
Y'all are odd. Davis, congratulations on being our Gateway Tire Athlete of the Week. You not only deserve this, you've earned it. So congratulations, job
Thank you
well
guys
done.
very
You'll
much
be
for
back
having me.
on the show again. I can guarantee you that.
Thank you so much, everybody. Davis Cochran of Brentwood High School, our latest Gateway Tire Male Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to that young man. Quick shout out to all our great sponsors out there: Matthews Team Sports, Trucking for a Cure, Tennessee, Southern Trophy, and John Mayer Builders. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're live at Tony's Eat and Drink. You can check us out on Facebook. Go to the Williamson Herald or Gateway Tire and Service, and you can watch that live stream. It'll be recorded, shared a little later as well. We're going to stay with Brentwood, but we're going to switch some sports here, actually. So we're going to talk a little wrestling before we come back to our guests from Page High School on the girls basketball team here again. But again, congrats to Davis Cochran of Brentwood High. If I get Coach Damon Smith.
Yeah, I was looking for him, and then I finally found him back over on the backside. So come on up here, Coach.
Coach Damon Smith of Brentwood High School, the wrestling coach here. Happy to have him back with us again. Coach, welcome.
Good evening, fellas. We're going to talk a little wrestling tonight.
It's time, right?
Yeah. Charles's favorite sport.
That's right. We got to get you going on it, Garth.
You know, there's one thing about this. Between you and Coach Miller, I tell you the truth. Y'all are hyper as all get out. I've never seen anything like it. Basketball coaches aren't that hyper.
Well, look at the difference in the sports.
Well, that's true, too. I mean, I'll grant you that one. But anyway, Coach, I'm going to step aside because, it's not one of my greatest sports.
Your forte.
Yeah, but I still pull for you guys. So,
right.
anyway, I'm going to step down.
All right, Garth.
Well, how about before we get Jackson up here, Jackson, come on up here and join us here as well, too. Again,
He's
we're
a big
chatting-
fella.
Yeah, we're chatting Brentwood
Come on up
wrestling
here.
now after Brentwood boys basketball. We got senior Jackson Ard in the
You
house.
said he was big. You don't play basketball? I saw you come in the gym the other night, though, and I'm telling you, I thought you were a basketball player. So, anyway, I'm shocked.
Hey, no.
I'm actually speechless because this dude's big. Here you go, buddy.
Jackson Ard, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
All good, all good. Well, Coach, go ahead and tell Garth why this guy's a standout wrestler instead
Well,
of a
when you're
basketball
6'8", 275 pounds, it's hard to push him around, and it's been awesome to watch his growth over his high school career as a freshman to a senior now, and he's ranked number 3 in the state, and we got the state tournament coming up soon, and he's going to do a great job, and I think he's got an ability to win a state title as an individual his senior year.
That's and building on this actually too. Thinking of last year, how things finished for this team, Jackson, to be that senior coming in one more time. Tell us a little bit about how things have been going so far and what excites you about later next month when we get into that state potential side.
Okay. So far the season's been going fairly well.
It's all good, man.
I'm not used to my.
No, that's the beauty of having this. We're here as well too, Coach. We could step in at any time, but Jackson, we're just excited to have you, man.
All right. So far this season has been going fairly well. We have from the beginning of this season, from losing to Page to now making it to regionals, it's been quite a transformation for this team. It's been quite the growth we've gone farther than we expected we could, but it's been great. I'm excited for the state.
You finished 3rd in the state last year, and what was your expectations of coming into your senior year after finishing 3rd, and what are you trying to accomplish this year?
Well, last year, as you said, finished 3rd. It was all juniors, me, 2nd and 1st place, so I just knew I had to work harder than them in order to push myself to place better this year, and I think I've done that. I'm firmly hoping that I will do better this year.
And for the people that in the crowd that don't know, would you tell them about like what a wrestling practice involves? Like what goes into a
Yes,
wrestling
please,
practice?
please.
All the blood, sweat, and tears that you can imagine times 10. It is ridiculous how much effort you have to put in just to survive a wrestling practice with the Brentwood Bruins.
Well, you're selling it really well here. Okay. But let's talk rewards of that here again, because like you said here, I think last year, the way you got to finish third, the team finished third in duels. To come back, we had a lot of youth on this team this year, and you still made it to that regional duels in the toughest league in the state. That's got to be something there.
You know, we lost 8 starters off of our team last year, and so there's 14 weight classes in high school wrestling, from 106 pounds up to 285 pounds, and so we lost 8 guys, and so we had to replace them this year, and so we've got some young guys in our lineup. It wasn't a rebuilding year, but it was a regrowth type of year, and so we knew that we had our hands full. But we've done a tremendous job with the guys that we have in our starting lineup to qualify for the region tournament, and we ended up, tying for third in the region duels. And next that comes up is the region individuals, where we have to place in the top 4 to make it to the sectionals. You have to place in the top 4 in sectionals to make it to the state tournament. And as an individual, that bracket is a 16-man bracket. So 4 regions times 4 guys, 4 sections times 4 guys is 16. That's your bracket for the state tournament.
When you think about that, Jackson, coming into this readjustment of sorts, because everybody supports each other out of the duels into the traditional side here, but tell us about your reset, your mind, your mental focus about going into another regional tournament, but more of that individual side now.
So the way I think of it, wrestling is a team sport at base, but it's comprised of individuals. You have to make your ones. It's not like football where you can 2-on-1 or basketball where you can tag team on one person. Wrestling is an individual team sport. So in dual season, my mindset is I have to do it for my team. I have to do this to become the baseline that my team needs, these 6 points or these 5 points. But in individual season, it is all I need to win my match. It becomes a selfish mindset at this time.
Coach, what have you seen from this young man? And you mentioned it briefly about his growth from, say, freshman on, even last year to this year, things like that. Having a guy like this in your room and being that bookend for so long, and now getting to go out one more time as a senior, this has got to be pretty special.
I remember when he was a young freshman and coming in, and people were like, you think he's going to be successful in wrestling? I was like, oh, man, he's going to be a superstar in our team. And he continued to grow, and as you can see, he's grown. He's 6'8", 275 pounds, and when we go to a gym and he walks in the room, like people are really in awe of him, and they're like, oh my gosh, look at you. And he's like a celebrity sometimes when we walk into a gym, and I know the real him, but when we walk into a different gym in Chattanooga, and people are literally in awe of him because of his size and his stature. And he carries that onto the wrestling mat, and he does a great job. He's a lot to handle on the mat.
Jackson, how do you use your size to your advantage when it comes to actually wrestling out there? Because, again, we're used to seeing some big guys out there, but not necessarily as tall and as long as you are, too. What's that do for you?
So one thing that might not be very obvious about me is I'm incredibly flexible for my size. So what I do is I am very tall. I'm quite quick on like a short distance on my feet. So I use my flexibility. I squat down. I'm very, very, very mobile in that position. So I just use that to my advantage. So I'll just go down, circle around, and try to go for it.
And I agree with him. He is probably the most flexible heavyweight I've ever seen. The guy can take his leg and put it behind his head. And, Skylar Coffey was our last heavyweight 2-time state champion, which was a specimen in his own right. Jackson is a specimen in a different kind of category than Skylar in his flexibility, and it really helps him out in his wrestling positions.
Well, thinking about what's coming up here as a team, as a group, Coach, besides a Jackson here, give us a couple more guys that we need to be watching for as we get the postseason going individually.
Well, I will say that the Williamson County region, which we have Williamson County schools as well as Overton, Hillsborough in our region, you have to place in the top 4 as an individual to go to sectionals. But our region is definitely the toughest region in the state of Tennessee. It is the SEC of wrestling. It really is. And so it's hard to make it out of our region. But some guys that are have the ability to qualify are kids like Jack Hazard, John Bradford Smith, Ellison Abramowitz, Cannon Andrews, Charlie Say, Graham Stanley, Jeffrey Ferris, a lot of our kids that are on our team. We have the ability to qualify, and it's going to be a barn burner fight that we're going to get into next weekend. And we're excited to compete. We have 2 weeks of preparation, and that's where we're at right now, is getting prepared for what's going to happen next Friday and Saturday.
Jackson, that 2 weeks roughly, being the heavyweight's usually much more helpful on that in terms of, weight management and things like that. But tell us about your thought and mind process and what you're working on specifically to get ready.
So for the next 2 weeks specifically, definitely neutral. My bottom game's the best it can be. My top pressure's amazing. He can attest to that. Only thing I really need to work on is neutral positioning and takedowns.
Okay. Do you before we do have to get a little sampling of just what it's kind of like being with Coach all the time here. One thing that always stands out to me, if I'm in a Brentwood match of any sort, there's usually cowboy boots that like slam on the court every now and then. Can you tell us a little bit about your perspective of having that from this Oklahoma Cowboy here?
It's just Coach. That's what he does. It's literally his signature. It's just except very, very loud.
Yes.
When the boots start stomping, that means you better get your butt going.
There you go.
Yes.
I think
You better get going.
It makes me want to do something, and I'm just taking photos or something like that, and I feel like I have to react.
Yeah, once you hear them, you realize you need to move.
Yes.
There is just no other option.
All right. Well, guys, really quick, I know you guys know these teams better than most here, but both Summit and Ravenwood obviously representing Williamson County at the duels on Saturday here. BGA is going to be there as well. Give us some quick thoughts on how those guys are going to do.
Well, unfortunately, Ravenwood pulls the #1 seed out of the hat, and so they're going to have a tough
seven-time defending champs. Yeah.
They're going to have a tough time getting past Cleveland, and Summit picks up Houston in the first round. We don't know much about Houston. They're a Memphis school, and they're always tough. I mean, Memphis schools are blue collar, and wrestling is a blue collar sport, and those guys. We'll see what happens there. But if they get past them, they got to get through the winner of Bradley County and Knoxville Halls. So we'll see. I hope Summit can pull it out and make it to the finals, and then they'll have their hands full with Cleveland. But Williamson County is represented very well this year.
I like it. Jackson, what do you think? How do you think Summit and/or Ravenwood will do?
We are well represented, like Coach said. I really hope they do very well. Once we've got knocked out, we're no longer enemies. I support them.
Yes, that's the beauty of the county. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Of course, I got a award to give you. Jackson was one of our recent Gateway Tire Male Athletes of the Week. Congratulations, young man. Coach Smith, always a pleasure having you here. We got to have you guys back at some point again here, of course, too.
Well, thank you for letting us talk about wrestling in our community, and thank you for all your support for our sport.
Thank you.
Guys, Jackson, congratulations. Damon, thank you so much. Coach Damon Smith, Jackson Ard of Brentwood High School. Guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're live here at Tony's Eat and Drink. We're going to come back to the hardwood and talk a little more basketball. Our guests coming up are from Page High School, which is a lot of fun here. Garth,
can I say,
yeah.
Coach Smith, do you remember back in the day this is going to speak my age. It might speak yours. But one thing comes to my mind. I was standing over there thinking, you remember Andre the Giant? That's my reminder right there of Andre the Giant. So when you walk into a wrestling match, I'm sure that there are a lot of individuals intimidated.
Well,
so
like Coach said,
have you ever YouTubed Andre the Giant?
Oh, I know who Andre is. Yeah, but again, thinking
But
Jackson,
now that's not the same kind of wrestling. I understand that,
Yeah.
but he was a big man.
Well, like Coach said, Jackson's one of those guys who's almost like a celebrity of sorts when he walks into the wrestling room. People see him. They recognize that he's got the look for sure. It's pretty special. He's a lot of fun to watch.
I did see him Friday night come into the gym, and I would not have imagined him being a wrestler. So,
again, third place.
I would like to see.
Heavyweight
I'd like to see
last
the
year.
flexibility. To be honest
Jackson
with you,
Ard, good for him, man. Really looking forward to seeing him. Two of our best heavyweights are right here in Williamson County, so really excited to see how those guys do. Garth, we should move on here.
Yep, let's move back into basketball.
I think we got to get Coach Coffman to come up first. We got a couple girls we're going to talk to from Page High School, but let's get Page girls basketball coach Randy Coffman up here first. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour, brought to you by Tim Thompson Premier Realtors, Gateway Tire and Service, Toyota Cool Springs, and Stonegate Homes. Coach, I think we got some of the girls here in the house, huh?
Man, we do. We've got some great hoopers out there in red and white and blue. What up, Paige?
Oh, man. Hey.
I bet they don't cheer for him like that in practice. You just wait till we get them up here, and we start asking him those questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. He's feeding them tonight, so they're in a great mood, right? Yeah.
Well, you know what? You guys are playing some awfully good basketball out there, and you know we're honored to have you all here with us tonight, and thankful of the support that Paige always brings here to their teams and to our show. So, Coach, thank you once again for a great showing.
Garth, appreciate it, and Charles, you as well. Just got some girls that really work hard right now, and very representative of our school, and super proud to be their coach.
Well, we started this show with, one of the leaders on the boys' side in this loaded, crazy district here, and now we got one of the leaders on the girls' side as well, too. The boys obviously had the Franklin, Brentwood, both 6-2 atop the district standings as before we going into the games tomorrow and on Friday. Yourself, the Brentwood girls, and the Nolensville girls all sitting at 7-1, Coach. How and everyone's beating somebody here a little bit too. That's the thing. Tell us your breakdown a little bit of that three-way tie at the top.
Well, they're all really talented teams. So you just at this point in the year, you've just got to be the most consistent teams are going to be those that win. And for our kids, we're just trying to take it one game at a time, and we can only handle our business. We'll let others take care of their business, and we're just really excited to have this in front of us, both those teams still on our schedule. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get to see a couple of those at home. So that's we feel like that's an advantage for us, especially with our new gym opening. So we really excited about where we're at. This week's going to be a tough one because we're on the road twice. So as much as we'd like to look forward, and we're grateful for where we are right now and to what we've done to this point, we have 2 road games that we've got to be really good in this week, such that we can be in a good situation next week.
We have a couple of the girls that we're going to be chatting with specifically here, but you've had the opportunity now to work with several of these girls for quite a few, for a while now. And thinking of this group, just kind of describe the camaraderie of this team and what kind of excites you about this group, because there's a lot of success, a lot of experience, and then still some youthful talent coming in too. It's a great mix, it seems like.
Well, it really is, and we've got some great young players, but we've got 5 seniors that have been together for a long time, and I just say every day how they're just special individuals, and each one of them brings something to the table every day that makes our team special and unique. And I think that their unselfish attitudes has really been infectious to the rest of us, and you're going to get to see 2 of them tonight. One who leads by effort, one who leads with a little bit of toughness and a little craziness, and then we have one back there that it just reaps positivity, and that stuff is so infectious, especially in today's times where we want to harp on negative things. And certainly she keeps her practices loose, and she keeps everybody's mind in a great spot.
I like that. Well, let's tell us a little bit about some of these girls here. Introduce them to us.
Well, you're going to get to see, back there in the back, you're going to get to see Samantha Lee. She's coming up soon. And Samantha I'll let her talk about her, but I can tell you as her coach, it has just been an absolute honor to watch her grow in her game. She's always had a great, incredible talent set, and to watch her mature as a person and then be able to express all the things that we had seen, in her sophomore year of what she could become. And, to watch that play out this year, it's just been a really special feeling for me. To watch those things happen. She's been such an offensive player for us, and it's been really good to watch her rebound in our last game. So that was really good. Now,
Do I detect a little bit of sarcasm in that?
Well, we all have areas we want to work on, and certainly Coach.
So you just announced rebounding is one of her much needed.
Listen, we can say that she's a third leading rebounder on our team. So
well, Davis right here can give her some tips.
Yeah, exactly. And sitting right beside her out there is Mary Elizabeth Fox. And what do you say about that crazy joker? And when I was talking about positivity in our practices and in our locker room, like she just I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a feeling that she gives everyone else, and certainly it's a confidence booster. But I can get upset with her doing something crazy at practice and say something about it, and she will literally look at me with the biggest, giantest grin and just start, Coach, you're exactly right. I don't really know what I was doing right there. And what do? You just, when the best player is also one of your hardest workers, and then they're able to take constructive criticism in a positive way, it really it reaps benefits to those young kids and what it's going to take to be a champion.
It seems like it might undercut some of that toughness that we know from Coach Coffman a little too, right? You got to answer with some smiles all the time now.
No. There is not much toughness for the kind of cheering that they did for him earlier. That's not a sign of toughness. That's a sign of softness is what that is, Coach.
Well, I tell you, Garth, we ask a lot of them, and one of the things that I've mentioned, I've challenged them with is make somebody come up to me after a ball game and just say, "Man, your kids played tough." I said, I don't want to ask it of anybody. Just make someone have to come say that to me after the game. And one of our biggest games this year, we were down in an event and played one of the storied programs out of Kentucky, and we were probably a little bit of an underdog in that game. And I literally had the head coach from Bethel University, which is Chris Nelson, walk up to me. We actually played in their gym in a Border Wars type game, and that's the first thing he said to me. He said, "Man, I'm so proud of your kids. They played tough." And then he followed that up with they play together. And I couldn't be more proud as a coach to hear those words come out of a basketball mind.
Well, since she's not here tonight and I called and gave her a hard time, I'll ask these young ladies this. Who's the nicer of the two, Coach Coffman or Allison Wiley? Coach Wiley's the tougher one of the two? Coach Coffman is the tougher of the two. Well, I'll be dadgum. I would have been shocked on that right there, Coach.
Well, then that tells me that you know Allison Wiley personally.
Yeah, I know her pretty well. Yeah, I've known her since she was about their age, probably before then, and I know she can be tough. I know she is a great assistant coach, and she loves working with these young ladies. But where do you see yourself right now in this season? I know you guys are sitting up there in a three-way tie, I believe it is, right? So after Friday night, Nolensville beating Brentwood, where do you see you all that you need to improve to take that district title?
Well, I think this time of the year you just try to get you want to trend up, and you certainly don't want to peak early, and I don't think we have. I think our best basketball is still in front of us. And so our challenges are not necessarily longer practices at this point, but maybe a shorter, more condensed practice, and really trying to be focused in the moment, trying to be where your feet are. And if we can do that, I think we'll have a great opportunity in front of us. Two girls that you guys are going to get to speak to tonight, they are instrumental in our program. They have literally set the tone for what Page Girls Basketball's program is going to be about. It's about hard work. It's about getting in the gym. Samantha Lee back there, that's a gym rat. She's calling me on Saturday nights, Coach, can I get in the gym on Sunday? I mean, those are the type of leadership things that go on away from maybe just inside the lines when the clock's running. And I couldn't be more proud of them, in regards to that. As far as where we're trying to trend, we're just trying to trend toward being a little bit better than we were the day before. And we've got areas that we got to get better at. And so that's really where our focus is right now.
Well, you said the girls here just before, kind of give us a little taste of these two here. We're going to have Samantha come up first, then Mary following her. But give us the Samantha Lee story here real fast.
Well, Samantha is absolutely an epitome of toughness. And she brings that to the floor every day. She brings it to the locker room every day. She reminds me of myself a lot, which is kind of scary because she's about a half cut up at times. And, those things being loose but intense. And I think that one thing that I've always tried to talk to our kids about is, listen, I like to have a good time. If I can't have fun doing what I'm doing, then I need to do something else. I'll go sell insurance, sell a car. I don't know. But it's okay to have fun at what you're doing and still have an intensity about you. And I think that Samantha does that. I'd like to think that maybe at times I've helped her with it's okay to not be so intense. And it's okay to just take a deep breath sometimes and, and use and channel that to a positive way. But, she's a epitome of hard work. I couldn't be more proud as a coach to say that I've had an opportunity for 3 years to be a part of her. And even though we didn't have seniors last year and I inherited some 2 years ago, no disrespect to those kids, but I really feel like these are the 5 that have been with me. And I'd go to war with those kids right now any day against anyone.
Well said, well said. And we are going to have Mary after Samantha, too. Give us a little preemptive story about her as well.
Well, as you see out there,
I think she just said, uh-oh, when you asked that question, Charles.
I'm not going to give any kind of crazy stories about Fox, but as I said earlier, she handles adversity really well. And the one thing that I can brag on her about is when something's hard, that's when she's her best. And, that's a sign of a champion. Somebody when it requires your best, she can bring her best. And that's something that I hope that she leaves with our team. Each one of our 5 seniors. I'm seeing Mia Kabali out there. They're going to all leave our program with something. That's what seniors do. They leave behind them a legacy. And it could be a hard worker. It could be a great school person. It could be a great leader. It could be a great organizer. For those 2 that you're going to get to speak to tonight, Mary Elizabeth Fox is going to show you what absolutely just pure passion for the game of basketball and whatever moment she's in. That's what you're going to get to talk to here in just a minute, Gar.
Oh, love it. Coach Coffman, thanks so much for coming up here, man. And we certainly appreciate it. Looking forward to following you. A couple more big games this week. Let's see. Give us that schedule. Who are you playing Tuesday?
At Centennial.
At Centennial.
Yeah, then we get to be the game of the week on Friday night out at Summit.
Summit, that's right.
Yeah, super excited.
Thank you. Coach Coffman of Page High School. We appreciate you coming up and joining us. Let's get up first of our 2 Patriot girls up here. Samantha Lee, come on up. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're live at Tony's Eat and Drink.
This is the loudest group we've ever had, that's for sure.
Samantha, welcome to the show.
Hi.
First off, tell us a little bit about this. I mean, it seems like everybody came out in support tonight.
I guess they did.
Well,
you're not nervous, are you?
Not really.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just dive right into it then. Why do you guys cheer so much for Coach Coffman?
Oh, man.
I don't know, really.
Well,
I mean, I thought you weren't nervous. You didn't just. I mean, go ahead and answer that. I mean, let us know. Let us know a little bit about Coach Coffman. What makes the team special playing for Coach for a guy that gets up here then obviously has a lot of enthusiasm about what he's doing, coaching you all. So what is it like playing for a coach like Coach Coffman?
Well, he just cares for us and really cares on how we're going to do in the future, and he makes sure that we have opportunities for the future. So yeah.
Be sure to hold that mic a little closer, okay? Thank you. This team, we've been able to chat with Coach. We've talked around it a lot. We've got to see you play a couple times here, obviously, too. To be one of the leaders atop the district, tell us what it's taken to get to that point here so far.
Just a lot of preparation, especially in like the summer and then the fall. Like we really prepared for the challenge of this district.
What makes it so tough? I mean, I know you've been playing and starring in this role for quite a while here against all these tough teams here, but what makes Williamson County hoops, especially the Brentwoods and the Nolansville, what makes them so tough?
I think it's just because they've all like really been playing with each other for a long time, so they all like have good teamwork and are allowed to score the ball a lot.
This team for Paige, how would you describe this group as a whole? What are some of the strengths? What are some of the things that you guys need to work on? And what kind of excites you to go out and play alongside this team?
I think our strengths is just like being a team and playing like us 5 seniors playing together for 7 years. Like that helps us be like better for each other. And then also like our scoring and like the ways we're able to score it is the like main way we're this good.
I would say, let's see. So I think going back to that Brentwood game earlier this month here, I think you've won 5 or 6 in a row here in district play too. And scoring has been something that's kind of really gotten things going here. We're scoring 70 or more, and I think 3 of the last 5 here. Tell us what's kind of clicking offensively and how you, as a team, kind of use defense to kind of get rolling there as well.
I think like that we use our defense because we get all these steals and we're able to push it and shoot our threes, and so it's a lot easier to get to 60 by playing good defense.
Let's see. Coach kind of mentioned, kind of poked a little, it seemed like, about getting a little more on the rebounding side here a little bit. Can you explain that a little bit? And what just your role too? Expand on that. What do you try to bring to this team?
I think with my rebounding, it's just like if we can rebound it more, we can have more possessions on offense, so we can score the ball more. And so yeah.
Rebounding is nothing to it, right?
He pointed out that rebound may not be one of the favorite things that you like to do. Is that correct?
It's all right. Not my favorite.
So you'd rather shoot the 3?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about this really special group of seniors here specifically. You said you guys have been playing back all the way into middle school here. How would you describe your camaraderie and just what it's like kind of playing alongside one another for so long? I mean, I know it builds a lot of those really great relationships, but just expand on that. What's it like playing alongside them?
It's great because like we all know like where we're gonna go. Like Mia like is a great point guard, so she's able to push the ball out and like.
She literally just about fell off the chair when you said that. Was she not expecting that compliment?
I guess not.
No, do continue.
You ladies are cracking us up.
But please continue. You just mentioned Mia, but there's a couple other girls out there. Tell us Avery. Tell us Mary. Tell us about this group and what makes you guys so close.
I think Avery's defense really gets us going, and then Merrill's offense is able to like get us going hot early, and so that really helps us get in flow of everything. So we're able to score more faster.
Now, one thing we have to at least touch on here before we talk a little more basketball here. I know you're a dual sport person here, and when it comes to flag football here, I think we need to chat a little bit about that front here. Can you explain your role and your drive in flag football as well and how you got involved with it?
I started playing in like 3rd grade, like especially in my brother and my dad in the yard, and so that really kind of made me want to play. So I played in like the rec league, and so that really made me want to play when it came to high school.
And it seems like you've found a really successful drive in that as well, too. Tell us about some of the accolades and just the things that have kind of come along with playing flag football.
I was able to go to the Under Armour All-American game and play in that, and then I'm also going to King to play flag football also.
going to King to play flag football? So let me ask you this: with flag football and the growth here that's happened in Williamson County, is it a national thing that we're going to see more the growth in a national level? I mean, since you're going to college to play flag football, is that something we'll see growing along through the years that you think?
I know there was a D1 school that recently added flag football to their program, so I know about that.
What's it kind of been like being a part of this in the state in terms of building this as a sport, as the fastest growing sport out there, really, too? What's it been like kind of leading the way and being a part of it?
It's great because like you're showing like the younger kids that like they can play flag football also, and it's not just like a rec sport.
Well, we do get to chat with Mary up here too, and Coach kept referring to her as like a jokester. She's always got a smile a little bit. We want to use this opportunity for you to talk about one of your teammates too. Tell us a little bit about Mary Fox here and what it's going to be like when we get a chat with her too.
She's always positive. I've probably never seen her really mad about anything, so she just like keeps a smile on her face at all times, and she's really nice to everyone she meets.
When you have a leader and a friend kind of who's always just got that ability to make you smile even in tough times, tell us an example maybe from this season or years past that really kind of stand out when it was like, I was having a tough time and there's Mary, she made things a little better.
Well, like during the games, even if we get down, she's always positive, so that helps us like get back in the game, and so it allows us to push forward and win the game.
All right. Okay. Well, last thing, thinking about this week, we're on the road before two big matchups next week as well. Tell us how the Page girls are going to keep going and keep finding ways to win.
I think this week we just have to play really strong defense and rebound because that's like the two key factors in these games, and it's going to push us and allow us to be better in the next weeks.
Samantha, appreciate it. That's well said. Thank you. We have a award for you here. Again, a recent Gateway Tire Female Athlete of the Week. Congratulations, Samantha. Thanks for coming up here. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're live here at Tony's Eat and Drink. We got one more guest to join us up here, also from Page High. We get Mary Fox up here. So this show is brought to you by Stonegate Homes, Matthews Team Sports, and Truck and Fork here in Tennessee. Mary, you've had the opportunity now to kind of watch everybody come up before you, and I feel like it's giving you a little advantage here. What do you want to talk about? Tell us a little bit about your thoughts.
I kind of want to talk about my team and just how grateful I am for them. I thought seeing everyone in front of me would help me, but I think it made me more nervous.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, tell us about this team. We heard a little bit about it from Coach. We heard a little bit from Samantha there, too. What makes the Page team so tough? What makes it so fun playing for alongside these girls?
Yeah, it's super fun. I mean, we have great chemistry, especially with our 5 seniors playing together since 6th grade, I believe, and some rec teams, even in elementary school. And we're just a super strong group of girls, and we always have each other's backs, and it's just a great team to be a part of.
Now, when you end up playing alongside the same teammates for a long time, I mean, you just know how to feed off one another. You know when someone is having a good time and not a good time. Tell us a little bit about that. Just break that down for us and what that relationship's been like and how it's kind of really become a strength for this team, too.
Yeah, we just keep each other like where our heads need to be. And some girls react to problems different than other girls. And we have more positive girls than some, but then all the positive girls just keep every other one in line. And then we all know at the end of the day that we need to win the game, and we're all a family no matter what is said on the court.
So, Mary Elizabeth, one of the things that I've heard you guys talk about from Coach throughout is the 5 seniors. What's your depth like outside of the seniors? I mean, tell us a little bit more about the remainder of the non-seniors. What do you guys look like outside of seniors?
We have a super strong group of girls after we graduate. I know we're graduating heavy, but I think the girls that we have, all our underclassmen, will cover what we take when we leave. And they're just a super strong group of girls. With our freshman class, we have a lot of bigger girls, which we don't have right now. With Lily Espelette being hurt, that definitely hurt us in the beginning of our season. But we've kind of like put pieces together that she took whenever she got hurt, which is super unfortunate for us. But she'll be back next year and better than ever. And also in this first table, we have Mia Hoffman, Rachel Bell, and Cameron Hudson. They're super strong girls, no matter what they're doing on the court. They always succeed well, and Rachel's a super, super good defender, and Lord, y'all, she guards me in practice, and I cannot get by her half the time. And Mia Hoffman, I believe, is our leading rebounder right now, and she is just super strong rebounding. Same with Cameron. When she's in the game, she knows that she needs to go get a board, and she'll get it.
So I had an opportunity to call the Nolensville-Brentwood game the other night, who are tied now at the top with you. I come to a page, Lady Patriot game. What do I see? What kind of team do I see you guys? What style of team are you guys?
I think we just play as a team all together, and we try to play super fast and to run our defenders' legs out from under us. Whether it's Brentwood, they're super strong with the three. And then when we played Nolensville, their defense was super good. But I just think we try to run up and down the floor a lot, and we try to get more layups than we do threes.
So you're a high-tempo team.
Yes, sir.
And you're relying on your defense to lead the offense, obviously. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Our defense last year, I think our stats were better than this year, but we're trying to get it up to where it was last year.
Okay.
Now, thinking about last year to this year, obviously, with this group and so many of you playing, and not really you mentioned Lily, and I want to chat a little more about her and how this team has changed to fit without her being out there. Can you describe a little bit about Amia stepping up and being one of those rebounders, Samantha for that matter? Everybody has to kind of expand their role a little bit. So what was that adjustment kind of like, having to come out without having someone kind of anchor down the middle a little more,
Yeah, at first I was kind of nervous about it, but we have length and height, but Lily was definitely our height. But also the extra rebounds I get, the extra rebounds Mia gets, and the extra rebounds Sam gets, I think that covers up where Lily left off. And also she used to take the ball down the court a lot, and Mia Kabali and Avery Payne have definitely gotten super strong with their handles. So.
With their handles.
Yes.
Well, looking at, I want to go back to that game at Nolensville here, because again, that's a Knights team that was able to chip into a pretty good lead there, but you closed in a flurry here. When defense is clicking, offense is clicking, how good is this Page team, and how good can you guys be? Because it seemed like when you're playing well on defense, things on offense just come with ease, and sure enough, you blew out the previously unbeaten team in the league there.
Yeah, we were also just super dedicated to beat them, and I think our defense reflected a lot to our offense, like you said. But if we continue to play like that, I think we might make it to the glass house.
One thing, Garth, that stands out watching Mary play, actually, too, is her ability to finish either hand in the lane. Can you talk a little bit about just what it's like leading a break, being on the break with these Page girls, and how you're able to finish no matter what?
I kind of just hope for the best when I shoot it. But
hello.
But in practice, my teammates know that they need to guard me harder to make me better and my team better. So just having good defenders in practice helps me a lot in the games.
Well, we chatted a little bit about, the seniors, obviously, but who's going to be the next Mary Fox, or who's going to be the next Samantha Lee or Avery Payne or someone like that, or Mia here? Who are you excited about on the youthful side for this team?
I think all of them have super great potential. But our freshman class is super good, and there's a lot of girls. How many girls came in? 11. They have 11 girls right now, like how we only have 5. But, yeah, if all of those girls stay, 12. If all of those girls stay, they're definitely going to be super strong in the next couple of years.
So is this table the freshman table?
Yes. There's Jordan Porter and Kay and Kimber and Annie. They're brought up on our varsity team, and they're super strong pieces of our team. And our bench, we couldn't keep pushing without our bench talking to us.
You know, that would be an interesting thought. How many teams in Williamson County, or a lot of places, are bringing up 12 freshmen? I mean,
It's crazy.
that's big numbers right there. I mean, that's strength. Coach Crane, wouldn't you like to have 12 freshmen? I mean, that's incredible.
It's a strength
Coach
for
Coffman,
sure.
That's hats off.
All right, well, Mayor, going to put you on the spot here to close things out here. Tell us about this week and how important it is to kind of just pick up a couple more wins, keep this ship moving here to get into next week when we're going to see those other leaders as well.
Definitely super important games coming up this week. Like Coach Kaufman said, they're both away games, so we need to just keep our minds focused on what's in front of us, always the next game. So our next challenge is Centennial, and I hope for the win on that game.
All right. Mary, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add, mention, or chat about?
Nope, just go Paige.
I love it.
Congratulations. Our Gateway Tire
this here.
Athlete of the Week, Mary Elizabeth Fox.
Yes, congratulations. Mary Fox here, our latest Gateway Tire Female Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to the Page girls. Not very often we get to do two like that, so that worked out pretty well.
No, and I go back to the way that I started, the way that the camaraderie that Paige shows when they are here at this show. It's very meaningful.
Whatever
it
sport.
really is. And so, you know, I'm still blown away with 12 freshmen coming in. I mean, typically, as you well know, it falls off when from middle school into high school. You lose a lot of players that just don't have the interest and, you know, they don't want to put the work in because there's so much work that goes into playing high school basketball. So to this table right here of freshmen, you know, congratulations because you guys will be strong in the next several years. There's no doubt. So It's been a great show, Charles. It really has.
Yeah, it was nice to have a little chat again. So reminder to all the listeners out there, on Saturday at the Williamson County Ag Expo Center, we do have the state duels tournament. Starts at 9 a.m., going to go right into the evening. You got Summit, you got Ravenwood in Class AA, and then BGA representing in Division 2A as well. The team side of things, really exciting there. Summit opens with Houston. Ravenwood opens against Cleveland, and BGA battles Lakeway Christian. Everything getting rolling there pretty quick at 9 a.m. at the
We know
Williamson
where
County
you'll
Ag
be
Expo.
Saturday,
Correct.
that's for sure.
And again, we got some great basketball coming up. Want to mention on WAKM, our games of the week will actually feature Franklin and Brentwood. So looking forward to that opportunity as well there. Joe Williams will have the call. I think I'll be there as well. And yourself or Darren join somebody. We'll all be there. But it'll be a lot of fun Friday night.
Well,
Lots of great basketball.
I don't know if I'll be back or not, Joe. You guys may not ask me to be back after Friday night. I may have butchered that up, but it was a lot of fun and brought back a lot of memories. And so, you know, it's going to be interesting. It really is. From the Page Lady Patriots to the Nolensville Lady Knights to the Brentwood Lady Bruins. I mean, those three teams right there. Some very very good games coming up here in the near future.
Exactly.
And then with the boys' side, Brentwood and Franklin Friday night, that'll be a huge matchup right there as well.
All the great coverage to come on the Williamson Herald as well, too. I know tomorrow night, I think my basketball plans are Ravenwood and Independence. Want to see those matchups there. Ravenwood boys obviously being able to pick up some wins. So has Independence, our defending state champs. So excited to see that matchup. That'll probably be my Tuesday night focused game. But all the coverage to come on the Williamson Herald. Pick up a copy come Thursday, and you name it, photos, stories, recaps, they'll be all online as well.
To our sponsors, we thank you. To our listeners and watching on Facebook Live, to everyone who showed up here at Tony's Eat and Drink tonight, we thank you very much. We wish everybody a great week, and we'll see everybody next Monday night.